Welcome back. Today we are going to do some Bitcoin and EGLD TA. Both the charts are looking pretty interesting. I'm going to explain to you what happened a few days ago with Bitcoin and why the price fluctuated so crazily. I mean, it literally went up to like 30,000 and then back down to 27,300 within hours. It was pretty nuts. So I want to talk to you about that and I want to explain what happened. And we are also going to look at EGLD. The EGLD chart is looking pretty cool too. There was a move that happened very recently where we pumped and something interesting showed up on the chart from that move. So we're going to take a look at that and discuss what that could mean, whether it's a sign of things to come. Pretty interesting stuff. All right. Finally, I want to make sure that all of you enter the giveaway for the Herotag Zeus. I mean, this thing is crazy. It is a cold wallet backup solution made out of titanium. It's worth more than $100, and we're giving it away for free. Herotag has decided to do 2 of those giveaways with us. One for anyone who's following on Twitter. You just have to meet the specific rules. Watch the video where I do the Herotag review. At the end of that video, I tell you exactly how to enter. We've had like 10 people enter so far. It's unbelievable. I thought so many people were going to be entering this competition. Make sure you enter. You have until Friday next week. And then we're going to do the giveaway. I'm not going to delay it. We're not going to give anyone extra time. So make sure you enter the giveaway. It is a pretty incredible thing. And we are also going to be doing one giveaway for subscribers. So if you're a subscriber on Twitter, you have a much better shot of winning one. If you're a follower on Twitter, you also have a shot of winning one. You enter the same way. Just make sure that you watch the video, get to the end, and enter the giveaway. All right, now let's get started with the TA. Here we go. Okay, so now we're looking at the Bitcoin chart, and one really crazy move that occurred was just a couple of days ago on the 26th. We saw the Bitcoin price drop from around 30,000 all the way down to 27,200, and then within another 4 to 8 hours, we're back up to like around 29,000. So what happened? Why did we see this massive move? There were a lot of rumors going around that Arkham Intelligence generated an alert that triggered Jump, a company, to dump a whole bunch of Bitcoin. Well, from the looks of it, the alerts that they generated didn't actually lead to this. The moves that we see here occurred before they actually generated their alerts. So in that sense, Arkham would likely not have been responsible. Now, I can't be 100% sure of that, but one thing really stood out to me. So this article here is telling us about the open interest for the April 28th, which is today, options that are expiring, and they're worth a total of $3.2 billion in open interest. That's pretty crazy. So what does that really mean? It means that bears are betting that the price is going to be below a certain level, and the lower it is, the more money they'll make on their options. The bulls are betting that the price is going to be higher than a certain level, and the higher it is, the more money the bulls will make cumulatively. So basically what we're seeing here, that if the price had closed at 8 UTC this morning at between 27,000 and 28,000, the net result would have favored bulls by $150 million. If it was between 28,000 and 29,000, it would have favored the bulls by $445 million. That $1,000 difference in price means over $300 million in cumulative profits that the bulls would have netted. Then we go to between 29,000 and 30,000, and you can see this is in red because that's where it actually closed. That means that the bulls were advantaged by $575 million. Now let's go back and look at the Bitcoin chart, right? Now you look at it this way and it means a lot more, because what you're seeing here is that when the price went up, the bears were in danger here. If the price kept going up, the bears would have lost a lot of money. So what happens? Bitcoin magically drops and it goes right back down to 27,200, right around the level that the bears need it to be to make their money. Then we see that the price starts going up again. And as we reach that expiring options date, which was this morning, price was stable at around $29,300, meaning that the bulls ended up in this area with an advantage or a profit of somewhere around $575 million. Very interesting stuff, but it makes sense as to why we saw a crazy move like this right before the options were about to expire, if this was some type of coordinated move to make sure that Bitcoin doesn't keep going up. I mean, if you're a bear and you stand to lose a lot of money, you're going to want to see Bitcoin drop so that you don't lose a ton of money on your options. So I really think this is a very likely scenario for what occurred. Now, obviously, I can't confirm this. Maybe if we had access to things like Glassnode on the premium plans, we might be able to access stuff like that. But that's thousands of dollars a month. I'm not paying for that. At the end of the day, when you see things that make sense, sometimes you put them together and it answers your questions. So the key thing we want to see with Bitcoin now is, well, how is it performing, right? Take all of that stuff we just discussed out of the question, because if it was just related to the options, well, I want to see what's happening long term and where Bitcoin is really with price level on the chart. So one thing we know is that we've really been watching Bitcoin close to see how it interacts with the golden pocket. And you can see here that in the golden pocket, we basically came and hit resistance at the top, which was at around 28.8, and then we came back down and we were getting support at 26.7. We called these levels much, much, much earlier than when these moves actually occurred. And the fact that we hit them shows credence that we really are looking at a very important area. We saw us break above it, and when we broke above it, we came back down, and this is really important. When we came back down, we got support at 27.2. We didn't even go back down to the bottom of the golden pocket. I think that's a really good sign because you know what it does? It puts us in an uptrend. If you look at this here, we're putting in higher lows. When you put in higher lows, you are in an uptrend. So we are still in an uptrend coming out of this golden pocket. And what I really want to see is us break out of this ascending channel. We break out of this ascending channel and things get really, really interesting. Right now, that means staying above the 27,900 level, essentially breaking 30K and getting support on the top of this ascending channel. Now, that's really the key as to what I'm looking for in the short term as far as trend goes. But we also have to take a look at the 20 exponential moving average on the daily chart. What you can see on that moving average is that when you're in a really bullish cycle, you are going and riding that 20 exponential moving average. We have done that all the way since 17K on the daily. We went above the 20 exponential, we came down slightly below it, and then we bounced back up. We got support right on that moving average, and obviously that's the blue one. We dropped below it. It was almost like a fake out because we just jumped right back up and went into the golden pocket. Since then, we were riding up the 20 exponential. We went below it over the last few days, and now we are back above it at a point where we very well could drop down to like 28,700 and bounce off that moving average and make a jump for another move. We are looking at potentially hitting as high as 35, 36,000. It seems a little early for that, but honestly, with the moves we've been seeing so far, it wouldn't shock me. It's like that step ladder move. You know, you come from here, you drop down a bit. Now you come up and you develop more support, and then you jump back up. We saw these things in the last bull market, and if we are really going into a bullish cycle, that could happen. Now, there's a lot of people that are also on the opposite side of this, saying this is all a bull trap. And it could be just a giant fake out before another drop. In other words, play it safe, but still know that you could be seeing a move coming pretty soon to the upside. We just don't know yet, right? I'm looking at both. I'm looking at as low as 24, as high as 35. It's a huge range, but at the end of the day, it gives me room to work, right? It lets me know that, okay, more than likely, if we correct, we're going to correct down here. But I also see that the MACD on the daily looks like it may be ready to flip bullish again. And if that is ready, well, it's seeming like that move up to the $32,000, $33,000, $34,000 mark may be more feasible. I don't know if we'd go right up to the 35, 36 level, but we could. I mean, if we zoom out of this, what you can see is that our next Fibonacci retracement level sits right at 36.7. So there are a lot of times that as you start making moves like these, the Fibonacci levels become really, really important. The golden pocket is essentially a Fibonacci level, and you saw how accurate that was for a trading zone. It was super accurate. If we see a move up, be ready for us to go and hit resistance at 36,000. Interesting to say, maybe a little premature, but hey, let's see if it happens. All right, now we are going to move on to EGLD. Okay, now with EGLD, we recently saw a pretty major move. The price was sitting at around the $38 level. We had been in this level for quite a while, and we saw the price jump up and hit the 200 exponential moving average on the daily. It got resistance there, and that hit nearly $50. Now, What does that move really mean? Well, A, it means that it's a massive, massive bullish signal for the asset. But also, if we take a look at the volume candle, so if you look here, you'll see that I put a yellow horizontal line right on top of that volume candle. And what we're going to do is follow that horizontal line back to the last time that we saw something similar, okay? And what you can see is the last time that we hit levels that high with buy volume was in February 2021. Well, now what do? We put in a vertical line. The price was sitting here at about $49. What do you know? That's right around the area that we hit. And then after that first time we touched that level, we jumped up. And the next time we hit that same volume level, the price was sitting at $180. And then when we hit it again, we actually hit it on the downside. That was on the sell level, but the price was still sitting at around $132. Now, why am I showing you this? Because this could be a massive sign that we are starting to see volume come back into DeFi and into EGLD in particular. Like, you're not going to see volume just fly into all DeFi assets. Volume's always going to hit the assets that have the most potential. And the infrastructure and enterprise grade class of the applications for EGLD, Multiverse X, have always been a top-notch selling point. The reason that I bring this up is because when I saw that move occur, I was like, wait a minute, this amount of volume is kind of insane. And when I followed it back, it took me back to these levels that were basically precursors to a massive, massive bull market when we started hitting them the first time. The first time we hit them was actually around $25, and it was right when we saw the price just shoot up and skyrocket. This is an incredibly good sign to see that much volume come back in. For right now, we are still within a descending trading channel. And what I really want to see in this descending channel is the price move up above that $46 level and really hold it. Basically, what I want to see is the price go like this and get support on top of this level. Once we see that, then we can see a further move up. But we really need to break out of this channel. What we just saw was a tremendous, tremendous move to get us to that point. Right now, this is really the key thing that I'm watching for EGLD. The additional thing is I have this level down at the bottom to give me potential bottom targets. So if we drop below, for some reason, there's some major market bear sentiment and the whole market drops, Bitcoin drops, Ethereum, EGLD, everything. If that happens, then I'm looking to buy EGLD around the $27 to $28 level. I'm thinking it's unlikely we're going to see things drop back down to those levels. But you never know. Just in case we have a flash crash and things drop and then the next morning they're all back up again. I already have orders sitting down there just so I can buy them, but they're very low amount of liquidity there because I don't want to lock up all my liquidity in these low orders. I tend to try to put those in as I see them being more realistic. I have a little bit there just in case, but for the most part, my orders for EGLD are sitting like around the $35 level now, but I'm not even sure if they're going to hit there. That's basically the bottom of the descending channel. So I'm starting to become more and more bullish on the asset because the trends that I'm seeing are showing that we are basically getting all of these moving averages completely constricted, and we have now flipped on top of the moving averages. You can see here we were on top of the 20 exponential moving average. We dropped below. Well, now we're back up on top of that 20 exponential, which basically means if we stay above the $40 level and we start riding that 20 exponential moving average, well, I'm going to be looking for EGLD to do something like this and go back up to that $55, $60 level until we correct back down and get support on top of this descending channel. That's really what I think is going to be most likely for us to see, especially as we see DeFi starting to gain liquidity again. Now, because there's no guarantee that this move is going to occur immediately and we're just going to go right back up to 50, what I keep looking at is the RSI, all right? We really want to see, is the RSI going to continue this uptrend that it's in? Now, if this continues and we see price continue to get constricted, well, more than likely what ends up happening is at some point here, price will level out at the same area that we see the RSI level out, and then you're going to have a breakout. You're going to have a big move occur. So I'm watching that very closely too. It's really a combination of where I see the charts going and where I see the markets going. Overall, key thing, $41.29. That's where the 20 exponential moving average is. We'll zoom in a little bit so you can see it better. So you can see here, that's where that 20 exponential moving average is. All the moving averages are constricted. What I want to see right now is I want to see that breakout, and I want to see us get above this descending channel. I'm watching all these other things together. The MACD looks like it's already flipping bullish. So let's keep an eye on it. Let's see what happens. Overall, I think things are looking good. A lot of good feedback and things coming from Consensus out in Austin. I've seen a lot of team members out there. I've seen a lot of photos. It looks like there's a lot of work being done to let people know about this amazing protocol. Thank you guys for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderful evening and wonderful weekend, and make sure that you enter the crypto tag giveaway. Watch the review video. It's the last video I posted on YouTube. My pinned tweet on Twitter is the tweet that you need to do all of the steps on to get yourself entered into the giveaway. Make sure you do it, all right? Do not keep your seed phrases on paper. Get something better. This is the lifeblood of how your private keys are accessed. You need good security. Make sure you secure yourself. All right, thank you again. I'll talk to y'all soon. If you're subscribing on Twitter, you're probably gonna get another video or two this weekend, so keep an eye out for those. All right, peace out, everybody. Take care.